So in this video, which is part 2 of the Here's a Gizmo series for the ESP32, we're going to take a look at the next gotcha people often will find when they go into the ESP32 using a standard breadboard. So as you can see here, the footprint of the ESP32 is larger than the Arduino Nano, which we've discovered. So this is why I always suggest you buy this shield here. The nice thing with these shields are they are designed to work with the ESP32 Wroom, which is also commonly known as the ESP32 Dev Module kit. Sometimes has a C after it, depending on which type of USB connector it has. But as I say, this matches the pinout exactly for the 30 pin ESP32 module that we're using. There is a 38 pin version which gives you very little extra, to be honest, so we're going to stick with the 30 pin for our talks. So the thing with this shield is it gives you a number of ways of powering your module. So you've got a 2.1 power jack here, which can be supplying 6.5 volts to a maximum of 16 volts. Obviously the more or the higher the voltage, the more work the voltage regulator has to do. But it also gives you 2 USB leads that you can use here. Now these then can't be used for programming the ESP32, but they can be used to supply 5 volts to the ESP32. The next thing to take a look at is this jumper here. Now you can see here it is set at 3.3 volts, which supplies the 3.3 volts to this V line here. If you have it at 5 volts, this V line will be supplied at 5 volts. If you don't have a jumper on it, the V line will have no voltage at all. Now that might be handy in some circumstances for, depending what you want to do. However, what you will find is with the ESP32 fitted and the power jack in, you will have 5 volts or 3.3 volts available to you here. From my understanding, the 3.3 volts is coming through the voltage regulator on board the ESP32. So this should give you clean power for running the likes of I2C. So what you need to be aware of, if you're going to use these 2 pins here for your I2C, if you've got the board set up as 3.3 volts, you have got access to the 3.3 volts, on these 2 here, on this one and this one here. Obviously with this set with no jumper on it, the ground and the VCC will not do anything for you. So when you look at the datasheet for the ESP32 Wroom 32, you'll notice here it's not recommended for new product designs. Now obviously if we take a look on the internet, you can soon do a search, and basically ESP or Expressive have said this is expected to be produced until at least 2031. So we then go here where we've got the support, and here you can see the support for the products that they do offer. So while this might only be available until 2031, obviously it might carry on production longer, and you might find then it starts getting a little bit more expensive. But what it does do, it buys us time until somebody else makes a similar pinout as the ESP32 as the Wroom now. Many of the new dev boards on the market do not have the same pinout configurations to work with the shield we use.